Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Clever Style. It's time for Trend Talk, Ask the Audience, brought on Erin White.
Hi guys, how are you?
You guys all know and love her by now, I'm sure. So we've got lots to talk about today. It was a big week in fashion.
It was. I mean, there's so much going on out there. It's hard to even pick topics to talk about.
I know. With Twilight coming up, Kristen Stewart on the road, Victoria's Secret fashion show, it was just a crazy, so many looks that it was like, where do we even start?
I know, and it's so exciting because we're starting to actually see some really signature fall pieces.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about.
I agree. All right, so we're talking about Rihanna and her she actually had 3 different looks, but we're talking about 2 of her looks from the Victoria's Secret fashion show. We're talking about Kristen Stewart. She hit New York City for the On the Road premiere, and we're going to answer some of your questions in the last little segment. So, let's start it off. Let's go into Rihanna.
Let's get started.
All right, so many people are at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So many. The Biebs, I mean, all the angels, as we know, and Rihanna was just kind of the star of the show a little bit.
Oh, she was. She had some fantastic wardrobe changes. Hello.
I know. They were great. So let's start with the red carpet arrival, which was first, which was a look that I really, really loved.
You know what? This like black and white. It's very almost like color blocking a little bit, but it's like the K Stu outfit that we saw a couple weeks ago. The jumper that she wore at the premiere, without it being pants, of course, but it's kind of opposite. But I love this look. She looks so sexy.
I think so too, and I think it's like a little bit. She's taken that modern, the Skrillex haircut. I think I talked about this before, but mixed it with the Hollywood glam.
Yes.
And it really works for Rihanna, I think.
It really does. She's stunning in this.
I agree. And I think that it's a great way for those of you at home that want to do the crop top. Wear something high-waisted if you're going to do the crop top, especially in winter. If you don't live in California, it's going to be difficult for you to wear a crop top in November. But, if you do have that option, I would definitely...
That's a great point because when you have a high-waisted bottom, it really cinches you in at the smallest part of your waist. So even if you have like a little bit of concern about your midsection going, I'm not sure if it's too much, it covers just enough and it gives you that perfect figure.
I agree.
A perfect flattering shape.
I totally agree. We got one comment on my Instagram actually. Pink Diamond for Life said that she likes the first one better, so I'm assuming that's her red carpet look, which I think is great. I like the lip color. You can't really tell in this photo, but it was like a wine deep color, which I love it for the winter months. I think it's very on trend. I do know that. And if you're going to experiment with lip colors and going to holiday parties, that's definitely a way to go.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. But I love this second look. Now, obviously, this second look is not a look that you were going to pull off running errands. It's definitely a performance outfit.
Yeah.
But very much Rihanna in this. I think that, with the shoes, I don't know, I think it's like super sexy, but perfect for the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
She makes something that's almost a little bit scandalous. I mean, she's wearing a bralette and underwear under a lace kimono, and I don't know how she does this, but she manages to make it not look too sexy. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is this wrapped sweater thing. Although I think it was a conservative move because she is wearing such scandalousness underneath it all, but it is a Victoria's Secret fashion show, so it's not like people are going to be taken aback by it.
Yes.
But I don't really like the wrap. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think it does show off Rihanna's waist, and maybe when she put the lace kimono on, it was like, it's too boxy, it's too frumpy, so I need something to like cinch it in. So that would be my thought, is that it was a very last minute adjustment and not something they planned to do necessarily. But I think it covers her up too much. I kind of want to see the top of her little white, boy short undies a little bit.
I agree with you completely. But I love the color. I love where they were going with this, and then that just messed it all up for me.
I know, that's tough.
So bad.
But one thing that she did nail was the shoes. I think that she has a really delicate outfit, and to take shoes and make it like simple, but not like too chunky, because if you're too chunky, then it's like you were wearing lace, and she just really nailed it on that point.
I agree with you, and the color isn't too much, but it still matches the dress. So it was the perfect look. Take that sweater off, girl. Take it off.
No kidding. Another thing that I like about this look is the statement necklace. I think that it's huge. It's like got that deep fuchsia that almost matches her lips, and green, which who would have thought to bring green into this look?
Yeah, I know. But you know what? It's just enough. It's like that perfect touch.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have looked great if it was, if that wrap was green. You know what I mean? It's just, it has to be simple in the jewelry, I think, if you're going to pull in another color.
I agree. I think that she killed it with both these looks. So your favorite is the kimono.
It is the kimono.
I like it a lot. I think I'm going to have to go with the first look because it's something that I would want to wear. Like just in life. I mean, maybe throwing on a leather jacket in California for a little bit to make it a little bit less scandalous and a little more like appropriate for a Friday night out or, whatnot.
Yeah, and I think a lot of you guys can pull that look off as well versus the lace see-through kimono.
Yeah, which probably wouldn't work for your day-to-day.
Not day-to-day. I try to keep my lace kimonos in the closet.
Yeah.
If I can help it, in my bedroom.
Just at home.
At home.
But the Victoria's Secret Fashion Show airs on December 4th, which is super exciting. I cannot wait to see the actual performances. We saw a little bit of the sneak peeks of the angels, but it's just so different when you see them walking down the runway and the music's popping.
Oh yeah, and it's a perfect idea to get your friends together and throw a fashion party while the fashion show's going on.
And you can always take inspiration from some of the best looks that you've seen, like back in the day. I can't even think of one immediately, but like the fantasy bras and,
Oh yeah.
It'd be kind of fun to like pick an angel and
dress up.
Do her signature.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great idea.
Girls' night.
I think we should plan that.
Done and done.
Done and done.
All right, you guys, let's move on to the next. Okay, guys, moving on from Rihanna, let's jump into Kristen Stewart, who just recently stepped out, I think today, in this outfit. And it is so fall. It is so on trend. I really love it.
I am in love with this look. I think it's perfect for her right now. It's so sexy. The hair, the makeup, the shoes, the whole look is perfect.
Yeah. It's definitely something that's different for Kristen. We kind of see her, she is one of those stars that can dress across the board. She can dress girly, she can go edgy, she can wear Converse and Rob Pattinson's hoodie.
Right.
She just really knows, she just puts a lot of range in her style.
Yeah, and this is a look that all of us can have. I mean, this dress in some way, shape, or form is on a shelf near you. I've seen a lot of leather this season. We've talked a lot about leather, and it is a bold piece. It's a piece that you really have to be smart about when you're trying it on, but try it on and look for the perfect piece for your body. You will not regret it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, Erin and I have talked about this quite a bit, but when you're pulling leather off the shelf, this is definitely going to be something that is expensive because Kristen's is all leather. But when you're looking for something, just those little leather additions will get you the same feel versus spending, oodles of money on something that's completely leather like this.
Absolutely. You're definitely not going to want to look for 100% leather out there unless you have K-Stu's budget, which most of us do not.
Yeah.
But definitely look for the mix. We've talked about this with a softer fabric on the bottom, but maybe like a leather bustier or do a leather coat and pair it with something else. So leather is so in. Do it. Yeah. You will look fantastic this winter season.
Exactly. And the faux leather is something that's going to be a lot cheaper that you're going to be able to find at Forever 21 and H&M. I found a leather dress at H&M or a faux leather dress at H&M that I wear all the time, and I really, really love it. I think it, you dress it up with the right accessories, and it doesn't look like you bought it at H&M. It looks like,
very expensive.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what real leather looks like these days anyway. So
because there's so much faux leather mixed in. So.
There is. So don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think this is a good look for her. We got a few comments about Kristen's look.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might be agreeing with us on this.
I think so too. Let's see. These are all comments from my Instagram. So Allie R. Long says, love it. She looks great in absolutely everything. Love her. And I think that is something to be said. Like we just said, her range is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the actress in her too. We've seen her play so many different roles that I feel like now she can pull off a lot of different looks.
Yeah, I agree. And Allie goes on to say it's simple but strong and grabs attention. And I think that's a huge statement to Kristen's look for this particular premiere because, her makeup's intense, her dress is intense, the shoes are intense, but it's not too much.
It's the perfect balance. And the hair is, I think, my favorite part of this outfit because it is still messy, like disheveled, like she didn't just rolled out of bed.
Signature Kristen.
Signature Kristen, which I'm sure she appreciates. But it's got that poof again that looks very high fashion.
And it gets it out of her face. With a neckline that high, that's something that you're going to want to do, is not pull the hair so far in front that it's like there's just so much fabric, so much hair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So it pulls it back a little bit, and I think that's another thing that we like about it. Kendon Kick says that she looks like a mini Kate Beckinsale in that outfit. When I saw that comment, I was like, wow, yes.
I wouldn't have thought about that right off the bat, but yeah, she kind of does. Kate Beckinsale is like a goddess to me. If I could be anyone in the world, it would be Kate Beckinsale.
She's gorgeous.
It's very hard for me to agree 110% on this, but yeah, I get that. I think it's that model look that Kate Beckinsale is so easily pulls off that she's really pulling off.
I think that Kristen's really bringing out her like natural beauty and natural confidence, which I think is something that we see a lot in Kate. She wears, these I'll never forget that like green snakeskin dress.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's been a while though since.
Yeah, it was like her Total Recall premiere, which was quite some time ago.
Yeah.
But I think that when Kendon said that, I immediately thought that dress going with this one, and I think that it's really flattering on Kristen. It's not too short, which if you're wearing a leather dress, you don't want it to be too short because you're going to see it's going to go like a little bit different,
A little too sexy.
Yeah, just a little bit too much. I got some more comments. All of you guys are totally sounding off about Kristen Stewart. Let's see.
I know it's so hard. She's so hot right now with the premiere and everything.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to see what she's going to wear for Twilight. It's going to be off the charts. I think that she's going to look amazing.
Do you think she'll wear a color? Or do you think she'll stay kind of in this like muted, very like black and white genre we've been seeing her in a lot lately?
Yeah, that's hard to say. I think that it will definitely be Balenciaga. I think if I had to guess, because she is the face of the fragrance, she's been wearing them a lot. So I feel like she's been testing the waters with them quite a bit. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a custom Balenciaga, because this is the biggest premiere of the year.
Oh, yeah.
It's the final installment of Twilight. Kristen has to bring out all the stops.
And I think it's going to be a look that we are going to remember for a long time and talk about for a long time. So I hope you're getting ready, Kristen. Don't let us down, girl.
I know. She can't let us down. And Rob Pattinson, I don't know. I feel like he might wear Burberry or Gucci. He's been pretty loyal to Gucci, but he might go into Burberry. Who knows?
Okay.
Another person, actually his name is Andrew, on Instagram says he loves it. So guys are loving this.
Of course they do. She's gorgeous in this.
I know.
It doesn't even take a fashionista or a guy with, half a brain to look at her right here and say, oh yeah, I would definitely date her. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, stunning. So, but we do have some, like, a little slack. People aren't liking it as much. With Fire and Ice says...
Stop it.
I know. And I get every fashion. That's the best part about fashion, is that everyone can have their opinion.
That's a good point.
But with Fire and Ice says, it looks like a Catwoman costume. Not happy with this. So, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of, different angles, different sights on this. And I can see where you're saying, but I think in person, I don't think it would look like that. I see a little bit from the photos what you're saying, but I think if we're seeing a little bit more movement in it and not less stiff.
Right, I agree with that. I think you see it in motion, it'd be a lot
different.
Better.
Yeah. So Jenna Rowfoot on Instagram says, this really does not suit her at all. I'm not a fan. So we're seeing a little bit of people not liking it. Sky Simpson says, no, haha, I don't like it. Like, it's I feel like fashion, when you take a risk, you're going to have either people that love the risk or they hate the risk.
It's true.
There's very few in between when you make a big, big, bold statement.
And you have to remember, Brianna, that she has such a loyal fan base, and they have this idea of what they want her to look like at all times.
Yeah.
And sometimes when she shows up out of character for what her fans have in their heads, sometimes there's a lot of pushback on that. So I can completely respect everyone's opinions. But I love this look on her.
I know, I do too. But I'm a big fan, I think that you guys know, of the edgy fashion. That is definitely my style. If I had to like be signature, of course I'm wearing a pink sweater when I'm talking about my edgy style. However, on a normal day, I'd rock a leather dress all the time. I love them. I love leather. I love boots. I love the whole thing.
It's a lot of fun too to wear it.
It is so much fun. One last thing I want to talk about is her eye makeup in this. How stunning is this? Now, she has taken the smoky eye, which is standard signature, kind of done all the time because it looks good on pretty much everyone.
Right.
But she's taken it and made it so different. So like modern, avant-garde almost a little bit.
It is. It's because the rest of her makeup is so flawless, simple, plain, that she lets the eyes be the focal point for her face. And I think that all of us should strive to do that more often, I think, than we all do. I think it is a very retro look for her.
Yeah, and I think what I like the most about it is that it's very clean underneath her eye. So you're seeing this bold, dark, intense shadow above it, and underneath it's fresh, it's clean, there's nothing there. It makes her eyes just pop and look big and gorgeous. I'm a really big fan. I think I'm gonna need a tutorial on that one. Gabe Almodovar. You're my man.
Give us a call.
Yeah.
Let's schedule you in here.
Let's talk about this one. All right, let's move on to questions from the audience.
Let's do it. So, Bri, I actually have a lot of questions right now.
Awesome.
If we can get started. First question comes from Trey, and he says, how do you wear prints on prints or Flomo? That's a good question.
I didn't know that prints on prints was called Flomo.
Well, it is technically florals with camouflage, Flomo.
Amazing.
And it can be worn by both guys and girls. We're seeing that as a big trend this season. And that's a great question because it hasn't really hit yet, but it's starting to come around. We're starting to see it a little bit more. What do you think about that look?
You know what? The prints on prints were huge on the runway, so I love it. I think that it's fun. However, it's definitely not an easy look to pull off because, it's how do you make it look put together without looking too like, wait, what? What do they pull? Why do they pull everything out of their closet at once?
Right.
So I think it's a really, really good look. I think it's fun. I think, one thing that you can do is when you're mixing your prints, like on the bottom, make it something that's more black and white, and on the top, do a colored print. Or, if you're gonna really do it, keep the same print on the top and the same print on the bottom.
I was gonna say, keep it consistent top and bottom to make it look almost like a jumper.
Yeah.
Because that's a great look. Or if you're going to mix prints that aren't the same, try not to do two sets of small prints, different prints.
Yes.
So at the top, you have like a small floral print, and on the bottom, you have another small floral print that don't quite work. So try to take a bolder print either on the bottom or top and pair it with a smaller print. I just think that's a better way to pull that off.
Yeah, I think so too, because it gives it that they're not necessarily trying to match.
Yes.
But does that make sense? They're not trying to match, but it matches because it doesn't.
I know.
Can you believe it? It's so hard to talk about prints on prints because it's definitely something that's going to speak a lot to your own individual style.
This makes me laugh because long are the days of going, that is a brown leather belt and your outfit is black.
Yeah, I know.
You remember those days
black
when
and
you
brown,
used to say,
make
I would
brown.
never wear black and brown together.
But now it's like wear camouflage with floral and you are on trend.
Absolutely. So I love how style evolves. You have to love that about it.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. So I'm a big fan of that. And camouflage, we've talked about before, is a huge, huge print that's hot for right now. I love camouflage. A lot of the celebs have been wearing it. Miley Cyrus, Rihanna, Rita Ora wears it a lot. So camouflage is huge. So if you want to pick one, if prints on prints are a little bit too much for you and you want to do something bold, go with camo.
I love that. And you could pair it with a print as well.
Yeah.
I think you could do it. I think you have to have almost like a little bit of a rock star style, though.
Yeah.
I think that it's a very far stretch if you have a conservative girl next door look to go for something like this. I would do that, transition that in pieces before you make it there.
Yeah.
But someone like, Gwen Stefani could pull off that. You know what I mean?
In a second.
So yeah, just be careful. Just know your style. Get to know your own style, and then you'll kind of know where to go with that choice.
Exactly. And if you are doing the prints on prints and you want to try it, just rock it with confidence. The confidence that you exude will make the look fantastic no
Absolutely.
matter if it works or if it doesn't. If you're confident, it's going to be great.
And you guys, when you do this, text us, or tweet us. How about tweet us?
Yeah.
Or Instagram us a
Photos.
photo, because we love to see that. We love to see what you guys are trying out there. It
Taking those
inspires
risks.
us here. So make sure you do that at home.
Exactly. All right, I've got another question for us. Let me get to it. Switching accounts, doing the whole thing. Okay. So one question I have is from, I can't say I cracked my phone, so it's really hard to see. So Sakshi Banzal, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, said, can tights be worn with a midi dress? My legs aren't my favorite feature. You know, I struggle with midi dresses. I think as a whole, it's one of the things that I think is hard for most people to wear, you know? So my advice to you would be to kind of, if your legs aren't your favorite feature, because then don't do the midi dress.
Yeah.
That would be my advice to you. So I don't do the midi dress because I'm too short. So it totally cuts off my legs. It makes my legs look not good at all. So if your legs aren't your favorite feature, I feel like the midi is definitely not going to be for you. However, one thing that you can do is kind of do a pencil skirt and have it hit at that, like right about your knees, and then wear tights with that. I feel like that is the way to do something like that. If your legs aren't your favorite feature and you want to wear tights, I say skip the midi altogether and do like a pencil skirt length right above the knees.
I think you're right about that. I definitely think the key here is just knowing your body, dressing for your body, and I agree. I love tights, though. I would wear tights with like anything I could.
Yeah.
It takes me back to my childhood in a way. I'm like, I love tights. But tights with shorts, we've talked about this.
Love it.
Or, I don't know, but I agree with you.
Tights with short dresses, even, you know, like if like your legs aren't your favorite feature, I would skip the midi dress, do a mini dress, and then wear tights. Like that is still going to, you know, cover up your legs if it's not your favorite thing, but it's not going to be like, you're not going to be like, I have too much fabric covering up. You know, it will look like you're trying to hide something, versus if you just kind of show a little bit, wear the tights, it's going to hide those imperfections that you don't like, but it's not going to be too covering and too much fabric.
You're so good at this.
No.
That's great advice. You're so good at this, Bree.
All right, do you have any more for us?
I do. Actually, someone asked about making they want to achieve a fashionable layered look without looking and feeling too bulky.
That's a really good question. What do you think?
I think the key is pairing here. I talked a little bit about leather pants this morning, and I think that that's how you do it. You have to do a tight or a legging or a leather pant, and then you can pair it with a sweater that isn't as fitted, that you could still kind of show off your personality without looking like frumpy, like you just rolled out of bed.
Exactly. I think that is the biggest key. Tight on the bottom, oversized on the top. And another thing with layering, if you're wearing stuff, you know, you're wearing the tights, you're wearing the big bulky sweater, but you need something under the sweater. Now, I'm just going to do this right now. Like, put different links on things. So this is a shirt that I have. So awkward. But
If you could only see what I can see.
It's short in the front and longer in the back. So, you know, it just gives it some more dimension instead of like a bunch of different, you know, layer ends here, a layer ends here, a layer ends here. It's, you know, your sweater ends here and you have a long layer in the back and you have a little bit peeking out in the front. Just gives it more movement altogether.
Absolutely. Or a tight fitted skirt, like a pencil skirt or something.
Exactly.
That's another option for a tight bottom. So.
Yeah. And if you're gonna wear a jacket over the sweater or whatever you have to do if you're living in New York and it's freezing, you know, make it a crop jacket. Make it something that's a little bit different, or a peacoat. You know,
peacoat.
Go for those different links.
I agree with that completely. And then I had another question about sweaters, generally speaking, about from Charlie about how you make a sweater still girly. Or she said, dressing up a sweater. Taylor Swift always makes her sweaters flirty. So the trick to that, I think, is getting a tailored sweater, and that tailored.
Pun intended.
It wasn't intended, but it's very punny. But something that's a little bit more fitted here.
Yes, I agree.
I think fit is key, and then you want to do accessorize.
Yes.
You want to accessorize with pearls or with something very girly, with your makeup, you know, with a bright lip like Taylor. I think that that's how you make a sweater fun and flirty and girly
Yes.
versus the bulk if you don't want to go the bulk.
I agree. I think that's really great. I think that, if you're wearing it with a skirt or you're wearing it with something like that, just the smaller, the better to make it. Because if you're wearing something oversized, it's going to go for that kind of like grungy boho chic.
It is.
So to get the cute flirty, like you said, it's got to be smaller.
Or pair it with a floral.
Yeah, that's always good. Or wear a polka dot sweater like we talked about last time on
Yeah.
Trend Talk Ask the Audience.
Like we are wearing here at the office.
Yeah, all the time.
It's a big trend here.
It is a big trend. All right, I think that wraps it up for this week's Trend Talk Ask the Audience. Thank you guys so much for your questions. We'll be
Absolutely.
doing this again on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. So send us your questions. We'll give you the photos that we're going to talk about, and you can get your comments in. And we will see you next time.
See you next time. Thank you guys for the questions.
Yes, definitely. Bye, guys.
Bye.